I'm all caught up to the Wu-Tang
TV
series.
I am too.
And the last episode had a whole 5% theme going on. Just Ice, I guess, was a big 5%er.
Oh, well, there's another. You didn't see the last episode.
Oh, I missed that.
There's another one.
You know that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And Just Ice got into
Just Ice is the god. Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled up on the RZA and was like, yo, you know what your name means?
Prince Rakeem. Don't be out here, you know what I mean? Manifesting a righteous name and not knowing the science, not knowing the lessons.
Right.
And Jizza came in and saved them.
Boom, boom, boom. Right, because a lot of the Wu-Tang was 5%, right?
Yes.
All of them or just some of them?
I mean, from what I know, a majority of them. Yeah, all of them, from what I knew. And see, when I watch this, I'm not sure how much of this is, Hollywood and actual life. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the Wu-Tang are all like executive producers of this, and I think...
Right, but you have to tell a story and all of that, too. From what I understand, in real life, they already had knowledge. But maybe I'm wrong. But from what I understood, because if you listen to Prince Rakeem's song, like there's little things in there that he's saying that is like little 5% lingo and shit like that. Like, so I feel like he had knowledge when he wrote that song. Like, you know what I mean? And when they all came out, from day one of them coming out, I knew them all as having like righteous names. Like they call in Raekwon Shah in there, but that's Shallah Raekwon. And Shallah is you know what I mean? Raekwon, that's righteous names. Those are 5% of names. Method Man was, I forget his righteous, I think of Shaquan, I think was is Method Man's righteous name is Shaquan. U-God, I don't know where U-God is right now in the series. He's the only one that I'm like, where's U-God?
Well, he was locked up during that time.
I think so. That's what I'm assuming. But we haven't heard
I
anything about
I interviewed him. Kind of one of my more interesting interviews.
I know. I haven't heard.
But he was talking about he was locked up during that time.
Okay.
How much of it did you actually see come together? Because at one point you end up getting locked up.
You know the damn story, Vlad, man. Stop acting like you don't know the damn story, man. You know I was locked up.
Okay, no, but I'm saying, before you got locked up, was the whole album done?
Well, it wasn't done. I came home right on time to get on 2 songs, and I ran into the studio, and I got on 2 songs, and I got locked back up again.
Yeah, I hope show them at some point.
You know what's interesting also? Is that Young Dirty Bastard is not playing ODB.
Well, here's the thing. Whoever is playing ODB is killing it.
Yeah.
Like, mad people thought that was ODB's son, and I'm like, no, it's not.
He nailed it.
He nailed it. Like, I'm talking the speech, the look, the mannerisms, like, because if you keep it 1,000, not everybody on that show is like fully embodying their character. They're kind of like...
Yeah, Dave East really isn't fooling me for Method Man. Like,
Dave East to me is... He's trying...
Yeah.
He's trying to have the essence of Method Man, but I feel like he's still Dave East.
He's still Dave East.
You understand what I'm saying? He's still Dave East.
The speech patterns aren't really there.
They're not there. The guy who plays RZA, the speech patterns are there. Everybody knows RZA for his lisp type of the way RZA talks. This guy does not sound like RZA at all. He's a little darker than RZA.
Yeah. Raekwon is good.
He's all right. He's one of the better. I'm telling you, the one that's doing the best job as far as imitating the person is the one that's playing dirty.
And this reminds me of my interview with Lil Eazy. How he was actually up for the role of Eazy-E in the Straight Outta Compton movie, and they gave it to that dude Jason instead, and how he was kind of upset over that because he really looks like Eazy-E.
And from what I understand, you wanted to be in the movie to play your dad.
Oh yeah, it would have been great, terrific. Yeah.
You auditioned for the movie?
Most definitely, a couple of times. I was called back 2 or 3 times.
Why do you think you didn't get the role? Because you look just like him. Ice Cube's son, who also looks like Ice Cube, got the role, but you didn't end up getting the role.
You know, I'm a realist. You know what I mean? It's nothing people could take away. I was, you know, was told that you needed a more polished actor at the time to play the most important role. And I remember meeting with F. Gary Gray with Dr. Dre one time. And of course, you know, Dr. Dre goes all the way. He always, it's kind of like, you could tell him he's like in a deep stare and kind of like a, you know, because I can't blame him, but sometimes when I do while I walk in, I give you that feel, and I'm just, when you look at me like, whoa, this is Eric's son. He looks just like him. So it definitely been told and appreciative of you saying it. It's always appreciative of somebody recognizing that. But if Gary Gray asked me a question about all kind of things, weight, when he's sick, they want him to be smaller. I can transition to losing that much weight, which is, a lot of people follow me know I can bounce back, you know, look like G.I. Joe to being daddy shape. So that, and will I be able to play the hospital part? This is what he personally asked me. Could you take that playing the deaf part? And really, yeah, I mean, my grandma always taught me there's nothing you can't put your mind to do. You know, so that's my mind state, but I understand where they were their focal points were and the things that they probably had, you know, a little sensitivity on. So, you know, I took it for what it was.
But at the end of the day, from what I understand, is that he may not have gone through all the steps of learning how to act.
Yeah, you need the acting chops.
Yeah.
It's not just
His,
looking like
that
someone.
He wasn't taking it as seriously as like Ice Cube's son, who now has other roles and so forth. So maybe, you know, Young Dirty Bastard just didn't take it seriously
And
enough.
Ice Cube's son was groomed for that. You see what I'm saying? I can guarantee you Ice Cube was grooming his son for years. Ever since he realized, yo, this little motherfucker look just like me.
Right.
I need to fucking make him the new Ice Cube when I get older.
Right. And I was disappointed that Young Dirty Bastard wasn't, because damn, he looks just like him.
But
this guy
if you
nailed
see
it.
in defense of the casting of that, like if you see old Dirty Bastard right now, you know, he looks older. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Young Dirty Bastard?
Yeah, and he's gained a little weight. He's not.
Oh, it's not the same one that I interviewed. I mean,
No.
he doesn't look the same as when I interviewed him.
No. Back then, he looked more like Dirty. A few years have passed, if you think about it, since the last time.
It's true, yeah.
It's been 4 or 5 years since you interviewed him.
Yeah, no, you're right.
If you watch him, because he's on Grown Up Hip Hop New York right now.
Oh, okay.
So go check him out on there, and you'll see that he actually has gained a little weight, and you know what I mean? Like, he still looked like Dirty, but not like this guy, like a younger Dirty, you know what I mean? He looked like Dirty if Dirty would have grown up, you know what I mean? Like, and still been living right now.
Yeah, well, it's a cool series. A little slow at times, but overall solid series.
I didn't feel it was slow at all. I like it.
Yeah?
I'm totally into it. I'm there for every episode. Every Wednesday, I'm right there. And another show I'm watching, since we're talking about shows right now, Godfather of Harlem.
Yep, watching that
with
too.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yep.
Great fucking show.
Great show.
I recommend it.
Yep.